So, before we start up the end game, let's go ahead and make our rounds.
Commander, things got heated back on Vermeer. You did what you had to do. I respect your choice.
I appreciate what you did, Rex. I won't forget it.
Just make sure it was worth it. Saren has to pay for what he's done.
We'll have him soon enough. Then he can answer for his crimes.
He'll do more than just answer if I have anything to say about it.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Commander?
About Lieutenant Alenko. How are you holding up?
Can't say I'm better. Sorry for anything I said back there. I don't want any deaths on my hands, and it's my fault.
Stop that.
Williams, listen to me. I'm in command of this mission. I made the call, not you. He's dead because of me.
It's funny. I don't have any fear of dying for the Alliance. But when I think of someone dying for me, if you don't mind my asking, how did you deal with the losses on Elysium?
It was my job to get everyone out safe. I failed. I vowed not to let that happen again. Same here. I'll remember him, and I'll do better for him.
Yeah. I guess that's all we can do. Thanks for the advice, Skipper.
What's your opinion of the last mission?
We've got a hard fight ahead. Fleets of AI dreadnoughts who've exterminated all life dozens of times over. I think the odds are against us.
We have an advantage. We know they're coming, and we know about their indoctrination.
I don't plan to lie down and die, Skipper. Don't worry about that. But I'm infantry. Against Reapers, my rifle may as well fire spitballs. I won't have a place in this war. That's what pisses me off, not being able to shoot back.
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
I should get back to my duty, Skipper. Rifles don't maintain themselves. Not yet, anyway.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am.
Commander, I wanted to thank you.
I don't have time for this.
Oh. Goodbye, Commander.
Sorry, Garrus. I can just tell that you're gonna say the exact same thing that you did before.
Something I can do for you, Commander.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Yeah, you can survive and make it to Mass Effect 3.
Hey, Shepard. You need something?
I should go.
See you later.
By the way, I don't think I ever shared this when I was doing that Renegade run that we stopped and decided we would restart when this edition came out. But I kept going back and forth on who I wanted to romance. Now, in that run, I romanced Ashley in the first game, and I was considering romancing Miranda in the second game, but then I was having a hard time deciding who to end up romancing in the third game to follow up with either Ashley or Miranda. And yeah, because the thing is, I think both are nice and well done. But here's one of the main differences, though. Miranda does not end up on the ship. Ashley does. So you don't really get a nice final scene with Miranda on the Normandy before the big finale like you do with Ashley and other members on your team. So it's a real shame, and it kind of ends up leaning towards the Ashley one in that regard. So you can kind of experience that really nice scene there at the end.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
So because that makes me think that that's what I would lean towards doing when we get to 3. In the Renegade run, I mean.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I've been thinking about Saren. I actually feel a little sorry for him now.
He's become a slave to the Reapers, and he can't even see it.
He is trapped inside his own mind. Part of him senses his identity slowly being swallowed up by Sovereign, but he is powerless to stop it. I wonder how he first fell into Sovereign's trap, Did he think he could somehow stop the Reapers from returning? Or was he simply driven by a lust for power and glory?
Whatever Saren's reasons may have been, they're long gone now. He has to be stopped.
Yes, I suppose you're right. He may be Sovereign's victim, but he is also a threat to all life as we know it. Let's not spend every free minute talking about Saren. It is bad enough we are chasing him across the galaxy.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
I wish I had a button to do like a salute or something where I would like to picture this shepherd walking over here, and she knows that this is where Caden would normally be, and she just stops and she salutes in his memory, and she starts to tear up a bit because, well, as you guys were seeing during this run, she was growing a relationship with Caden at this point, and left him behind. So this hurts her. This really hurts her and drives her, but it still does scar Shepard. Just that, she then starts to wonder about what could have been and whether or not there could be a possibility of her ever actually finding that special someone, because she thought maybe it could have been Caden. And this happened. And now she starts to have doubts, those kind of like very, relatable human thoughts and doubts that we all have, like, gosh, am I ever going to end up with somebody? Am I ever going to find that special someone? Is there really somebody out there for me? It's those kinds of thoughts I'm sure every one of us have had. I know I've had them. I'm sure some of you watching have had them. Now, she doesn't know it right now, obviously, but that special someone is on the lower floor of this ship. But she doesn't know that yet. But, it's also going to play into when she does start to develop that connection with Garrus in the second game, because she hasn't really established it yet here, because things are a little different here, especially with Garrus. But as we know, over the next couple of years, especially with what happens to him in Omega, it's going to have quite the effect on Garrus and kind of change him. But of course, we'll talk more about that when we get to Mass Effect 2. But yeah, this does, this is how I sometimes like to do a bit of role-playing. Not entirely, but I've always believed that we all like to do our own version of role-playing in our own way. Role-playing in a game like this, or in other games, like even Elder Scrolls games, or just whatever other kind of RPG game you can think of. To me, there's not just one definitive baseline of this is what role-playing is for players. Like, to me, role-playing in any video game is whatever you personally like to do in that regard. Like, how I like to role-play is not the same as other players like to role-play, because to me, it's always different based on the person, how they want to do it for their own personal enjoyment. That's just how I see it. So, my way of role-playing in games is not the same as other people who like to role-play in games like, say, Elder Scrolls, for example. I role-play in an Elder Scrolls game differently than other people do. But that's just because it's my personal way of enjoying the game more, compared to how some other people would role-play, where I may not enjoy it as much if I role-played like they do. You guys get what I'm saying? So this is how I sometimes like to role-play in a game like Mass Effect, in that regard. Like, yes, the reason I did the whole, I explained my reasons, but, yeah, one of those reasons was, I want to get out of this locked-in romance I couldn't get out of, so what I do, I leave Caden there. So that's, like, the gameplay reason, but I like to also try and come up with, like, in-character or in-story reasons as to why I do certain decisions,
Commander, I know it couldn't have been easy for you down there. Making the call between Alenko and Williams must have been... I'm sorry, ma'am. I just don't know if I could have done it.
Yeah, there is no right choice for something like that. I just hope I never have to go through it again.
No, I'm not blaming you, Commander. I mean, it's hard, you know?
Saren's still out there, Joker. Hold it together. We need you.
Don't worry, I won't let you down. I want to be there when you make that son of a bitch pay.
You're a bro, Joker. A total bro. I hope that Seth Green really enjoyed his time playing this character.
I forwarded the mission update to the Citadel, Commander. We got confirmation on those reinforcements. Ambassador Udina wants us to report back to the Citadel. The Council's massing a joint species fleet to deal with Saren and his Geth.
So yeah, this is what I mean by the now we're kind of being forced into the end game, because now once you've done all the main story missions, whether in whatever order you do them, you then get this where it's like, all right, now you're going straight back to the Citadel, and this is where the end game officially really starts, and there's really no way out of it. Like, once I started Vermeer, there was no going back. So
I knew they'd come around. Back to the Citadel, Joker. I want the Normandy at the head of that fleet.
Yes, ma'am.
Good job, Shepard. Thanks to you, the Council's finally taking real action against Saren.
The Ambassador is correct. If Saren is foolish enough to attack the Citadel, as you believe, we will be ready for him.
Patrols are stationed at every mass relay linking Citadel space to the Terminus systems.
That's not enough.
You think a blockade's gonna stop him? He's on Ilos looking for the conduit right now. What are you doing about that?
Ilos is only accessible to the Mu relay, deep inside the Terminus systems, Commander. If we send a fleet in there, the only possible outcome is full-scale war.
Now is the time for discretion, Commander. Saren's greatest weapon was secrecy. Exposed, he is no longer a threat. This is over.
I've never gotten that line from him. He's no longer a threat? That's because they continue to deny the whole thing about the Reapers.
Sovereign's the real threat. Saren's just a servant of the Reapers.
Only you have seen the Reapers, and then only in visions. We won't invade the Terminus systems because of a dream.
Secrecy isn't his greatest weapon. The conduit is.
Saren is a master manipulator. The conduit is just a distraction from his real plan to attack the Citadel.
One ship going into the Terminus systems won't start a war. I can be discreet.
You detonated a nuclear device on Vermeer. I wouldn't call that discreet.
Your style served you well in the Traverse, Commander. We recognize that. But Ilos requires a deft touch. We have the situation under control.
If Saren finds the conduit, we're all screwed. We have to go to Ilos.
Ambassador Udina, I get the sense Commander Shepard isn't willing to let this go.
There are serious political implications here, Shepard. Humanity's made great gains thanks to you, but now you're becoming more trouble than you're worth.
You bastard! You're selling us out!
It's just politics, Commander. You've done your job, now let me do mine. We've locked out all the Normandy's primary systems until further notice you're grounded.
I am so looking forward to when we get to kill you in Mass Effect 3, Udina. You have no idea.
Are you insane? After everything I have done, you still don't believe me.
I think it's time for you and your team to leave, Commander. This no longer concerns you. The Council can handle this, with my help, of course.
Commander, I've got a message from Captain Anderson.
Notice how different this scene is if you have not romanced anyone at this point. Like, you guys have, I showed it to you guys, where if you have romanced either Ashley, Caden, or Liara, you are just kind of like real upset. They come to check on you, and you kind of get close to kissing, and then Joker interrupts. So it's interesting seeing the option of what happens here if you haven't romanced anybody. But real quick, I also want to comment. You notice a couple of those lines. This is where I just... Oh, I just love Jennifer Hale and her voice acting. Oh gosh, that woman is such a great voice actress. And again, I do want to stress, I do love Mark Meer. He does an excellent job as male Commander Shepard. Okay, I love Mark Meer. He's awesome. But Jennifer Hale just at times just really stands out with her voice acting. You heard how she said those lines, right? Like, are you insane? After everything I've done, you still don't believe me. Like she legitimately sounded upset about the whole thing. I just love how she put her emotion into that. You'd be surprised how often some voice actors just don't really do that. They just say their lines as if they're reading it off a piece of paper, like, are you insane? After all I've done, you still don't believe... Like, it just sounds so bland and, like, emotionless. Like no actual acting there. And, gosh, Jennifer Hale is so good at it. I just love it.
Are you spying on me, Joker?
No, ma'am. Just knew you were on the ship and figured I'd pass the message on. The captain said to meet him at Flux, that club down in the wards.
Alright, so I'm taking Ashley with me for a specific reason, so I can show you that specific thing I keep talking about. And, let's go ahead and bring Garrus. I thought about bringing Rex, but honestly, there's something about the thing I'm talking about that actually has to do with the Turians.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
Couple points for Ashley here. There we go. So this will effectively be the final time that we are going to be here on the Citadel.
Admiral Kahoku, a respected member of the Alliance military, has passed away. The veteran soldier who won the love of his troops during conflict with the Batarians died of natural causes. Kahoku is survived by his wife and 3 children, who are planning a small private memorial service.
Natural causes, huh? Can't put out a report about Cerberus, right? Alright, it's this way.
Reporter Kalisa Al-Jilani recently attempted to land an interview with Commander Shepard, the first human Spectre. Commander Shepard answered difficult questions, demonstrating that under that military uniform is a keen diplomatic mind. We'll have exclusive footage later today.
Ah, here it is.
Excuse me, you're the Spectre, right? Commander Shepard, it is an honor to speak with you.
What's this demonstration about?
I'm Charles Saraceno of the Terra Firma Party. With Armistice Day coming soon, we're making our voices heard by the alien appeasers on the Presidium. Can I count on your support in the next election?
I don't know Terra Firma's platform. What do you stand for?
Our core value is that Earth must stand firm against alien influences. Politically, culturally, and in the worst case, militarily.
It's a noble goal. Too bad so many of your supporters are just racists.
I can't deny that some of our supporters have extreme views, but our platform is also supported by economists, sociologists, and medical professionals.
So, let me comment on this. Against alien influences. That's a term that has kind of bothered me. Now, where it gets a little murky for me with Ashley is that she says it's a noble goal. I mean, it really depends on what exactly it is that we're defining here about that particular aspect that makes it a noble goal. Like, what exactly, like, that's something that we would have to really delve into and get more specific about in order to try and figure out whether or not this actually is a noble goal. this whole idea behind this. I do like that Ashley immediately tries, to put down that this is a group that has a lot of just outright racists that are a part of it that try to make this very, very anti-alien.
But you don't do anything to curtail the racist comments of your members.
Of course not, Commander. Whether I disagree with them or not, they have the right to express their opinion.
You're marking the end of the First Contact War with a protest.
As we have every year for the last 26 years. The war taught humanity a lesson that some would forget. If we don't stand up for ourselves, no one else will.
I thought the lesson of the First Contact War was that there's other life in the galaxy and they have opinions too.
Perhaps so, Commander. But if aliens feel free to express their opinions at gunpoint, why shouldn't we?
We should, but you're looking for a reason.
I disagree. We have a backlog of grievances the aliens have ignored, starting with Shan-Shi.
Were you at Shan-Shi? If not, shut your pie hole.
It's not worth getting angry over, Chief.
Right. I read you, Skipper.
What are you running for?
I'm seeking one of the 5 spacer seats in Parliament. They have certain Baroque conditions for a citizen to be able to vote for them. You have to spend more than 6 months a year in space, but you can't have stayed in any one settled system for more than a month. You do spend most of your time in space, Commander.
Sorry, I believe we need to work peacefully with other races.
We've heard that before in human history. Well-meaning naivete leads to declarations of peace in our time. We can't allow anything like Shan-Shi to happen again. I don't suppose I could convince you to issue a public statement of support for my candidacy. The support of the first human Spectre would be invaluable.
The occupation of Shan-Shi couldn't happen again. We weren't even sure there were aliens to garrison against back then.
It's still a powerful symbol, Commander. Shan-Shi is the only human territory ever occupied by an alien species.
You have the right to your opinion, Mr. Saraceno, but with all due respect, I disagree with it.
I understand. I'm glad you support the democratic process, at least. Thank you for your time, Commander. Remember Terra Firma on Election Day, because Terra Firma remembers you.
Remember Shan-Shi!
No blood for aliens!
Earth first!
Terra Firma!
Go it alone!
Throw the appeasers out!
Aliens off Earth!
I'm just standing here letting you listen to the protesters.
Freedom isn't free!
We bleed red!
We bleed red!
Freedom isn't free!
Aliens off Earth!
Throw the appeasers out!
Go it alone!
I'm sorry. Those who call Ashley a space racist? No. These are the space racists.
First!
I'll take Ashley over any of these people any day of the week.
Remember Shan-Shi!
I like how Ashley just got really upset when he started talking about Shang-Chi as if he was there, and she's like, if you weren't there, then you need to shut up. It's like talking about, I'm a little cautious about bringing this up because anytime, the whole real life, things are kind of brought into this kind of thing, it can get a little murky. But forgive me, but I do know someone personally who was in a real life war, so I almost feel like I can go ahead and mention this. It's like talking about a war as if you were there, but you actually weren't there, so you wouldn't really know. Like, unless you were personally there to know that from that perspective and have that ground level view. You know what I mean? So Ashley has that actual perspective, but they don't. I can go run around and do some of that off camera. Because I do want to run around and make sure I catch as much as I can before we leave the Citadel for good. So let's go ahead and head on over to Flux and chat with Anderson.
Pardon me, soldier. Could I take a moment of your time?
Oh yeah, this guy.
Soldier, I've got a major situation, and I need help from somebody with humanity's interests at heart.
What kind of situation are we talking about?
Of course, right to business. That's why humanity has the best damn fleet in the galaxy. My name is Elias Keeler. I'm an alliance negotiator. We've got a big session coming up with the Solarians. You wouldn't believe what's riding on this. I'm fighting for humanity on this one, just like you are.
I understand. It's important. So what do you need?
Well, in order to do my best for humanity, I need the best resources on the market. There's a mental stimulant that increases alertness and cognitive function. It's legal, but restricted. I've purchased the monthly limit, and I need more from the medbay.
What exactly is this stimulant?
Oh, I don't know the medical terms, but it increases mental capacity, short-term recall, that sort of thing. It helps me stay focused, and it keeps me sharp. Nothing gets by me when I'm on it.
If you know the monthly limits, why'd you go over them?
The negotiations were supposed to be last week, but the Solarians stalled it, probably deliberately. If I don't get the stimulant, I'll be a wreck. My assistant will take over, and that would be a disaster.
You should put some trust in your assistant. Didn't you train him?
My assistant wants to bend over backwards for the Citadel races. He wants to show them we're reasonable. No race will respect us until we show them who's in charge. That's what it took with the Turians. Forget my assistant.
Wow.
Why is this deal so important?
The Solarians want to set up long-term trade agreements. There are billions of credits at stake. If I don't get the drug, my assistant will take over and mess up the whole deal. It would be a disaster.
You should put some trust in your assistant.
No race will respect us until we show them who's in charge. That's what it took with the Turians. Forget my assistant.
Keeler, you've got a problem. You need to get treatment.
It might look that way from the outside, but this is just a one-time slip-up. All the top negotiators are on stimulants close to the legal limit. It's the way the game is played.
I don't see all the top negotiators soliciting help to go over the legal limit, Keeler.
Maybe you're right. I've been trying to keep humanity strong, and maybe I've pushed myself too hard. I'll tell you what, this will be the last time I use the stimulant. After this deal is finished, I'll get treatment.
No trade negotiation is worth ruining your life for. Let it go and get help.
You don't understand! Humanity needs me, and I need that stimulant. Without it, I don't know anymore. I get so tired when I run out of the stimulant. I just need one more boost.
There's no shame in having a problem, but you have to get treatment.
You're right. I'll go tell my assistant. I shouldn't be working like this. I'll get help. I'm just sorry it came to this.
I'm gonna head back up to the Presidium just to double check that there isn't anything else that we could have possibly missed. Now those are like the two notable ones I usually always remember that we can encounter here after we get grounded. The terra firma guy and that guy. I had just forgotten him because, well, it's like, oh, okay, we convinced an addict not to get the drug. Okay. All right, now let's see. Just wanted to do one last look around. Like, I'll do this on my own when it comes to, like, going to the shops and such. But in case there's, like, any other extra story stuff, I want to go ahead and try and catch it for you guys. So let's go ahead. Let's see if I can actually go over here and be like, hey, Udina, screw you. Nope, he's not in here. That's a shame. I was really kind of hoping there was going to be some kind of scene here where it's like, hey, you know, screw you, Adina. But nope. Karis is like, did you just shut the door on me, Shepard?
Shepard, what can I do for you now?
I'll be going now.
Goodbye, Commander.
This place seems strange. Wish there were more humans around.
Thank you for all your help, Shepard.
You won't be thanking me later. You know what's funny? I was looking over the codex, and somehow,
though now extinct,
I didn't get the one on the Protheans. I have no idea how that happened. Because I was going to do a video where we just kind of look at some of the codex entries, but somehow I missed that. I'm going to look up how I can get that, if possible.
Hello again. The consort is very pleased with everything that you have done for her.
Any chance I can move up on her client list?
Yeah, she is grateful for your assistance. The client list is a separate matter, and her schedule is completely booked for the next several months.
I think I'm done here.
Of course. Come back anytime.
It's funny what happens to the consort later. Rather amusing, more so.
At the time the statue was built, the entire galaxy respected the Krogan. Now they're simply hated and feared.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Barlavan.
Greetings, Earth Clan. I believe congratulations are in order, Commander Shepard. You are the first human to join the Spectres, yes?
It's a great honor.
One you are no doubt ready for. A word of warning, though. There are many eyes watching you now, Commander. Some of them want to see you fail. I, however, wish you only success. Perform well and you bring the Earth Clan one step closer to joining the Council. And if they let your people in, maybe there is hope for my own species one day, yes?
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
I do think that each member, that each race in the Mass Effect universe should have a member on the Council. It should not be exclusive to just the Turians, Asari, and Solarians, and then the humans later. Like, each race we see here should have a member on the council. My opinion.
You know, art doesn't normally do much for me, but that relay statue, I like.
The conduit. Okay, so looks like there is nothing else here on the Presidium. Where's the fast travel thing? Over there. Okay.
A million light years from where humanity began, and we walk into a bar filled with men drooling over half-naked women, shaking their asses on a stage. I can't decide if that's funny or sad.
Can't it be both? Just saying.
I got business here, but not with you.
Not now. I'm watching the show. Go away. Let me drink it, please.
See you in Mass Effect 2, Harkin. Okay, so I am going to do a couple things. One, I'm going to, in between videos, double check how I can get the codex entry on the Prothea and see whether or not it's still possible to do that. Just so I can, partly because of the achievement of, hey, you got all the codex entries. But, just in case I also want to do a separate video just on the codex entries, where you guys get to see and hear some of that stuff. And I'm going to go around to the shops. Just one last go around to all the different shops before we go see Anderson and get out of here and head to Ilo. So, stay tuned.